Welcome to the Lone Jack Totally Off Track podcast, a family ran show with myself, Amanda, and my husband, Nolan, and my brother, Matthew, that is, well, a little bit off track. We will cover a wide range of topics. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and you shouldn't either. Thank you for being here, and we hope you enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, actually it was probably a couple months ago now. I'm old, so stuff kind of runs together. But I was saying, I don't exactly know how we started talking about it, but I realized that I don't know a lot of terms, or the terms that I think I know, I think they're wrong. But because I can't remember what we were talking about. Maybe we were just talking about crop tops, and Nolan was saying that it shows the midriff, and I was like, the mid-drift, and he was like, no, it's mid-riff, and I was like, what's a riff? It's mid-drift, and he's like, no, it's mid. So we looked it up, and it's mid-riff, which makes no sense. And then the other day on Instagram, people were arguing if it's pimping my ride or primping my ride. I looked that one up, and I think it is still pimping my ride. People have changed it to primping, probably because pimping is a term you shouldn't be using, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so I didn't know if there were any terms that you guys thought you knew until someone changed it, but then you just stuck with it, because it's still mid-drift.
Matthew looked stunned that he thought it was mid-drift.
Did you think it was drift?
I thought it was mid R-I-F-T, mid-rift.
Just R-I-F-F.
That's okay. Like a third option.
Well, which did you, Maddie? She probably, of course, knew it was riff.
Hold on. I don't know if this applies, and I don't know if we've already talked about this. But a while ago, God, this is probably like 6 months ago, maybe more. Matthew comes to me and goes, "Are J-Lo and Jennifer Lopez the same person?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I love it. That often.
Hey, see?
I was like, wait. I was like, J-Lo and Jennifer Lopez are the same person? She goes, yeah. And I go, oh, no way.
Well, that's about growing up in a house that played only old country. I didn't know Eminem was spelled the way Eminem's spelled until I was 17. I was like, what is this word? I thought it was just like the candy, M&M's.
Imagine my surprise when I was trying to find his music on Spotify in like 2014, and M, nothing came up, and I was like, what?
Popular.
I just want to hear that Not Afraid song.
Not afraid.
See, midriff is the human abdomen.
The human. Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, here we go. Do you see? I'm much younger than you guys, and so I'm more clued in.
For sure, me.
You're only 2 years younger
than me.
Just me. He's just talking about me.
Let's see.
He's 45.
I'm just gonna do some terms here. Do you guys know what cooked means?
Yes.
Cooked,
like off your rocker.
I'll give you it. Yeah.
What would you say? What would you think?
If you and I, Nolan, were together, and I said, "Oh my God, we're cooked," what would that mean?
Well, if you said it like that.
Oh, we're so cooked. Yeah,
probably like drunk or something like that.
Okay.
Cooked means to me, it's like done.
Cooked means it's over. You're burnt. You're tied up.
Okay. You're exhausted.
Now, if Nolan started on a good point, I said let him cook. That means let him continue. Let him grind.
I use that.
Yeah,
let him cook.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
Cooked, you're done, you're toast, you're exhausted.
You're toast,
finished.
You're done.
You can't go any further.
I was going to say you're effed. That's in there as well. There we go. That's
I definitely use it in place of that. That's like my G-rated, like, effed.
Okay.
Because when my Epic was having all those, like, black bars the other day, my, like, the electronic medical record system I've been using for my rotation, it was cooked. That was the term I was using. I was like, it's cooked. My Epic is cooked. And I spent like 2 hours on the phone with UC Health's IT system. And I was like,
did you
there's
explain it to
black
them?
bars all over it.
Did you explain it to them that it was cooked?
Yes, I did say. Well, you have to be a little bit more specific to the IT team.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's like
They're
black
like, we
bars
can't-
all over the place.
We can't
I was
help
like,
you
it's
with it.
glitching. Yeah, and then they were able to like remotely sign in and see it, and I was like, oh, or they were like, oh yeah, that's really bad. I was like,
They
yeah,
didn't agree that it was in fact cooked. No, it's fine.
I think they did, but
I'm
I've
so
used
much-
that recently. But I don't use Let Her Cook or Let Him Cook. That's too new.
I'm
I've
so
not
old. I'm
socially
trying to
accepted.
figure out what term I would have grown up using that you guys wouldn't know about, but I can't.
Do you know about Kelsey Nuts?
No.
What?
Oh,
What's Kelsey Nuts?
that's something I heard from Grandpa. If you know, you know. All you guys that are 80 that listen to the
Yeah,
podcast,
see,
you'll
I'm
know.
not-
You'll
He's
know.
not
the-
80.
Not that far
You-
along.
He's halfway.
All you guys that are 80 will know the meaning of tighter than Kelsey Nuts.
I think we did use like that's tight.
Tight? Yeah, tight
Tight.
used to be... I caught tail into tight.
Like I think I knew about that even before watching like Rush Hour. And
Oh,
you know
okay.
he uses it whenever he sees. Is that C4? That's tight. That's nice.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of another.
90s.
I feel like there's another term that I just heard the other day some child in the store use, and I cannot
Chopped.
remember. Chopped? What?
Is that what people are saying these days?
An unattractive person is chopped, and also an unattractive situation would be
You were
chopped.
saying you were saying that about me?
No, I wasn't saying you were chopped.
He's saying some little brat in Target was calling me saying
Oh.
Were they
I-
talking about you?
probably. Look at this.
Was it?
No, that's not what they
weren't
said.
saying chopped.
No, it was like not even it was not even a real word. But I've seen
Skibbity.
people say Riz. What is
Oh,
skibbity and what's
you don't know what-
Riz?
Okay,
If-
I don't. You have to know
If a
what
guy
skibbity
is Riz and a girl, it's like he's
It's
like
charisma.
Yeah, he's like
Why would they have something that sounds so close to jizz as what you would say?
Amanda, it's because you're out of the loop, and I'm about 6 months from being out of the loop with pop culture.
I don't want to be in the loop. It's a what's
Listen, there are two schools of thought: the duality of man. People that think water droplets look like testicles, and people that don't.
Yes.
And if you fall into one of those, apparently all you think about is that Riz sounds like jizz. So
Inside of you, there's two wolves. One's retarded
Yeah.
and one's racist. You must choose.
that's not what I was gonna say.
now he's like, yeah, wait.
No. I thought you were going to say one thing to water droplets look like testicles. and
Yeah,
one
the
doesn't.
things that look like water droplets.
Okay. What's skibbity then? That's not even a word.
I don't
It's like a noise.
I really can't define skibbity. I think it's like, like a Mountain Dew energy
he has
kid.
like a he
This
has
is
like
like-
a list.
This is like new. This is terms Gen
What's
Z
that
people
mean?
are saying.
What's
Way
that?
to
Ohio?
express agreement or confirmation.
That's definitely like Gen Alpha. Like I don't
There's like-
know that Gen Z's using those.
No cap.
No cap.
That means
That
I ain't
says-
lying.
That one says Gen Z. I can read that in the very little words.
Drip.
I'm wearing drip
But-
right now.
Bussin'?
Lit.
Bussin', lit. All these are good.
Riz.
Yeah,
Bus
those
and
are kinda-
ghosting.
I know
Cool.
sus.
Yeah. High key.
Okay,
High-key.
speaking of that word right there,
Sus or ick.
when people say that gives me the ick, that's what gives me the ick.
The
Stop
ick
saying
gives you
that.
the ick?
Stop
Yeah, I don't
saying
use
that.
that.
Chuji.
Chewed. What?
Is that how you say that?
Chugi.
CH.
Chuggy? What's that one mean?
It's outdated, uncool, or trying too hard.
Yeah.
Salty.
I've heard of that. I don't use it though.
Simp.
Stan.
Stan.
It's like a name.
A term used to describe
A
an
Stan
overzealous
is
fan
like
of
a
a celebrity.
really big fan of something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Delulu.
I had to teach. What was it I taught you recently, Matthew? It was.
Slash.
Uh,
What slash guys are.
Basic.
I did teach you that recently.
You taught me what a slash
Period.
guy is.
Period.
Period.
Period. What? I don't know.
That's just
It's
like period, but like
With
with
a T.
extra sass.
These
Period.
guys know all this. I'm gonna look
Yeah,
up. I'm gonna look up my terms.
They're somehow only
I'm chronically online.
somehow they're only 2 years younger than me, but
They know 'em
like
all.
they make
It's
me feel
not.
like
It's
I'm
that
about
we're
80.
chronically online. It has nothing to do with the age gap.
I've built my Instagram algorithm brick by brick and laid the mortar between each one
Yeah.
to
I
get
have
to
a
where
What
pretty
I'm
I
at.
taught you, Matthew.
You
I have
taught
a
me what
pretty-
slash guys were. You taught me Manic Pixie Dream Girl, which I use wrong, which I think
That
is
was a while
funny.
ago.
Himbo,
usually
you taught
have-
me the term himbo.
And then I have my Instagram pretty much good, and then Matthew sends me videos of a shirtless man, like a clown, walking.
The
around
clown
on the
guy in
street.
New York, the
And I'm
guy
like,
that's
This is definitely gonna F it up. Okay,
he's 300 pounds and has a six pack at the same time.
It is impressive.
And
but,
he dances
it does,
with shorts. If they were
it
an
do-
inch lower, you couldn't have the video on Instagram. It is so good.
It's definitely impressive, but it does mess up my algorithm when I watch them. Anyway,
You're welcome.
We always, said my bad on everything, and now I'm
I
remembered
still say that.
my dad would he would try to say cool stuff, I think, and he would
That
never
sounds like your
he
dad.
would
He's
never get the
hilarious.
my bad. He would say that's bad, but it was always when he meant my bad.
that's bad.
That's great. My
Like,
dad
it was
hated being
pretty
called
clear what he was trying to say.
bro.
Oh.
Was big when I was a teen. Dad hated being called bro. He would
Or
flip
homie.
out. Or homie. He would still flip out with homie.
Also, he said to tell you that if you call him Jay one more time on the podcast, he's going to punch you in the throat.
Is that not his legal name?
It's
He's like, just as like if you would call him homie. That's not my name. I'm your dad.
What does he want, Daddy? Like, genuinely,
I
what
don't
does
think-
Jay want?
he doesn't even listen.
Dad.
I asked if he listens to the show, and he says no. And then he gives
They-
you critiques.
He-
Jay, if you want to
They
defend
were-
yourself, Jay, come on and defend yourself.
Apparently,
they
they were
listened
listening
to
on.
it on the way home from their trip that they were on. And
Well, next trip you go on, Jay, you can listen to me talking about you.
I don't want to be in the middle of this anymore.
Yeah, Jay can call me if he has a problem.
I'm scared.
See, what is this? I can't. How do you even say this? I assume it's.
Skirt.
I assume it's supposed to be skirt. It's just
Skirt.
SKRT.
There's no
Skirt.
vowels. Skirt. What's skirt mean?
It's
Oh,
like
I think that guy.
that's the
it's a
town-
synonym for stop.
That scrawny guy that somehow was having sex with one of the Kardashians. I think he had a song where he said that in it.
You are getting this so mixed up. You're talking about Timothy Chalamet. He's
He's
that's
got
not what you're talking
he's
about?
got blonde hair and like
Pete
tattoos.
Davidson. Pete
It's
Davidson.
Pete Davidson. So
Davidson.
Pete Davidson and Timothy Chalamet did an SNL sketch, or
Oh,
sketch where they
Oh,
did
okay.
a song
Yeah.
that was like "Eat skirt, eat
Yeah,
skirt."
yeah. See
Pop that. That's an SNL sketch, though,
Oh,
or sketch.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
a song. I
Was
like,
one
I
of
can't
them-
believe that.
Was one of them having sex with a Kardashian?
Both of them have.
Both. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're running through the
Timothy
Kardashian
Chalamet
family.
is currently.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's the one with. Yeah, that's right. Because
He's peak rat boyfriend.
In that one award show you made me watch, he
I
was
just
sitting there
for that
with.
part of the Chalamet.
What's the younger one? What's her name?
Chloe.
No.
No,
No.
not Chloe.
This one's a Jenner.
Who's like a younger
Kylie.
Kylie.
That one. He's dating her.
Kylie's the one that's dating
Chalamet.
Timothy
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Yeah, because when that blonde lady Glazer, Nikki Glazer, she was. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Nolan makes me watch the
Every now-
chatting of the
Sometimes
award
the jokes
shows.
are funny.
I don't like award shows. I rarely like jokes.
I don't.
I just,
You rarely like jokes.
especially when they're not funny.
I
when everybody
apparently
is-
didn't use any of these. I'm not sure I'm
They?
a millennial. I definitely didn't use Bay.
gag
Yeah, I'm not a
Basic.
millennial. I guess I need
Wait.
to go. What's before?
goat. You
Maybe
goat.
that, but maybe
I can currently
extra.
hear one of our goats out there screaming. It's Petunia, and she's so loud.
Keep it 100.
This
Low
is stuff
key.
I said. You need to go
Ratchet.
10 years back. This
That's
is
the
stuff.
thing.
Savage.
This
Yeah,
is-
I'm like, this is
Thirsty.
That's savage. I'm
Stuff
keeping
AF.
100
in
with
high
you.
school.
I ain't gonna cap. You savage.
Twerk. That's a word you used.
What's before
You can't
millennial?
say you didn't say twerk.
What's before millennial?
That'd be depression era baby boomer.
No, it's not.
Gen X.
Gen X.
That's probably what I am.
No,
Technically.
no, you're not.
You're
a
not a
millennial.
Zoomer?
You're a,
My
like,
parents
probably,
are Gen X.
You're a late millennial.
Yeah,
I'd
here
do
we
a
go.
Z.
Gnarly,
Yeah.
wicked, to the max.
Gag me with a spoon.
Those are all like song names, not the last
Yeah,
one.
these are all Sublime song lyrics, man.
I mean, probably, truthfully, probably is a song name. Anything's possible.
Chill. Yeah, chill pill. This, I was definitely doing the Gen X.
I think I would
Slangs.
be more in this too.
Gnarly, headbanger.
I thought that said
This.
hamburger from here.
That's like 90s.
I was like, this
Dude.
stuff is so old, it's common vernacular now.
Going postal.
Yeah, it's coming back around.
Going postal is good.
That's
Did you-
only a term because of
Home slice.
I use that.
Yeah.
I call Tater Tot that sometimes. He really likes the lotion that Maddie sent at Christmas. It's that Zoom, and I think I got the sandalwood one.
No, you got dog shit mixed in with yours.
I don't remember exactly which
Gross.
flavor it is, but Tater Tot, he apparently thinks it's good because he just
Loves
walks
it.
up and bites my legs now, like he's a
Now I'm
carnivore.
curious.
I'll have to look at which one it is, but yeah,
He's
he
a meat
loves
eater.
it. He just walks up and then will bite my leg. And I'm
Wow.
like, dude,
That's one way to say hello.
you don't have any kind of teeth that are going to help you. You don't even have teeth on your lower jaw, so you're going to be gnawing on that leg for a long time. Anyway,
So anyhow,
Rad.
you golf like you have a
Rad.
spinal
Rad.
fusion. Tell us
Use
what
rad a
happened.
lot.
we have what?
You golf like you had a spinal fusion.
Oh.
Tell me what happened.
What?
On the golf course?
well,
yes.
on the golf course.
You said that there was a
The-
spinal incident.
No, not a spinal incident, but I will say, okay, so it was my first time,
She's hit a few
I-
golf balls at a driving range.
like
Very
probably
little.
less than 50. Okay, but my balls with
Yeah.
with the driver
Your droplets.
and with the irons from like a distance. Okay, besides the fact that I couldn't hit them more than like 100 yards, but they were all pretty much straight. Okay, the problem was more around the pitching wedge, getting it to the green, and then my putting. So it was my short game that I need to work on,
That's everyone.
which is what Nolan needs to work on, and I think it wore off on me.
Mm-hmm.
But the best I did was a double bogey. So that's 2 over par. That's
For
the
your
closest
first
I
time?
got. That's the closest I got to par for the whole 9 holes. The rest I didn't keep track, but that one I did fairly good on.
So you kept track of that one.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
But I was using the pitching wedge a lot, and I was like, why do you keep making me use this one? He kept using like what are they called?
Well, it's a matter
They're-
of distances, how far you're away from the
I
hole.
know. Anyway, he kept making me use the pitching wedge, and I didn't like it, okay? It and I were not bonding. So then I was like, well, if you keep making me use it, you use it. And I handed it to him, and I was actually on the green that time, so I could go up, and I putted, and then Nolan hit the pitching wedge, and then putted in the hole, and we moved on to the next hole until we get to where I have to go over water, and he's like, oh, go grab the pitching wedge. And I walk over to the bag, and it's not in the bag. And I was like, okay, you had it on the last hole. I'll just wait here because there's some turtles and they're very cute. And so I was terrorizing the turtles. And Nolan went back to the last hole to go get the pitching wedge.
Because I'd grabbed my putter too, and then I used the pitching wedge, and then walked up to the green,
said
laid the wedge down on the ground. You didn't say that.
Well, yeah.
And then I putted, and then I walked to the cart.
Anyway, so he
Mm.
left it on the grass. Okay. And so that's fine because you lay it down. You can't
Like, you
you
should be able
can't
to see
golf
it. But
with two sticks. Anyway.
Continue.
Oh.
You're not
Pitching
bombing
wedge.
yet.
Is this a bad time to ask?
It's just like the angle of the head of the
It's just
of
a
the
name of a
golf
type of
stick.
club.
Yeah. So it's just like
Hmm.
it has a different angle so that you can like chip it more in the air
Every iron goes from either the thing goes from either steep,
for distance.
and then as you go shorter distance, it gets less steep and more loft.
hmm
And so a pitching wedge is like down. It goes like,
So like
The-
Nolan can hit his 9 iron like 200 and 125 yards, but then like a six iron. I had the wrong
You're
number.
giving some people some bad information here.
No, it's 125.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about what he does a pitching wedge. But then like a 6 iron, because it actually, you go further as the numbers go down. It's like a 6 iron or a 7 iron, he can hit like 160,
Yeah.
170, because it has less loft. So it's actually more of like, it's
It
not
goes
quite
high.
like a line drive, but it goes lower, you can tell. Anyway, so yeah, a pitching wedge is like, if you're kind of at the base of like,
Short
the
distance,
green is
yeah.
like up on a hill, you just kind of tap it and it will fly up there instead of, anyway. So yeah, so that's what you use when you get closer to the green where the hole is at. And so anyway, I waited by the turtles, and Nolan went back, and he was gone for a while, and then I saw he came back down like the fairway that we were on, and he was asking the people that were behind us. And he got back and he's like, yeah, no one saw it. And I'm like, okay, well, we know we used it on that hole, and it literally, we hadn't even done another hole yet. So it's like, obviously one of the 2 people behind us picked it up and they lied to you, or they just didn't want to look for it. I don't know. Cause like, it's fine if they picked it up, but like, why couldn't they just be like, oh, maybe I did accidentally pick it up. So anyway, we kind of went on with our day. We had 3 more holes to do, but 2 more.
Then I picked Amanda up, and we drove back and
Yeah.
walked around that whole green, both of us, again, just looking. And then we came back down the fairway and just parked kind of beside the last guy, and we just asked him if he, like, accidentally picked it up or something, and he said, well, no. He's like, all mine are left-handed. And so he's like, I would know. And I mean,
Yeah.
we were kind of sitting there kind of looking at his bag, and I could see that they were all left-handed.
Yeah.
Then as he pulled off, Amanda thought one didn't look left-handed, but I think it probably still was.
Yeah. But then, so we just let everybody go ahead of us, because we had 2 people kind of behind us, and we wanted just to kind of take our time. And since we kind of dicked around on that hole, trying to find our pitching wedge, we're just like, go ahead. And so then, like, we're waiting for the last guy. So it was like a couple, and then it was 2 guys, and only one guy was golfing. The other guy was just playing the tunes.
2 groups, basically.
So yeah, 2 groups, but like, we were waiting for them to get out of the way so that I could hit the golf ball without killing someone. And then another guy, the guy that would have been in front of us before we let the other people go, he came back to the hole we were on. It was like, have you guys seen a pitching wedge? Like, and we're like, we lost ours too. We don't know what happened, but I think someone's out here gathering them up, because there's no way it just disappeared. And so we finished that hole, and then we're like, okay, well, we're not going to let this ruin our fun. And even though I lost 2 golf balls in the pond, because I couldn't, the other 2 wedges, they don't hit as far. And then for sure, I needed the pitching wedge to get it over the pond. So thank you, person, for taking it, because I lost 2 golf balls.
And a pitching wedge.
And so then we finished our round, and we got up, and the couple that would have been right behind us, they were just sitting in their golf cart. And then when we parked our golf cart, she came over and she's like, it was a pitching wedge, right, that you guys lost? And we were like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, it's in at the counter.
She's like, we found it at the next hole.
And I was like, no, you didn't, lady. Like, I mean, you can say whatever you want, but we didn't even finish. They were ahead of us at that point. So how would we have put our pitching wedge ahead of where we were? We weren't just like chucking it down there. Like, it'll be there when we need it.
Are you sure you didn't throw it when you saw the turtles?
They found it in their bag at the next. And if it was at the next hole, we were literally 150 yards away from them when they finished that hole.
So they could have been like, we found it. But it was like across the pond. So we hadn't.
I'm thinking they were collecting, and I bet they collected that other guy's wedge too.
Yeah, but it was like, well, you can lie if you want, but thanks for returning it, but I mean, you don't have to lie, because that's obviously a lie. It's stupid when people lie about stuff where it's like...
It's funny, because I kind of, like, at one, I don't remember when it was, but, like, it was before we played that hole. I just kind of, like, prayed about if we could get that club back. And then sure enough, we get up there and they're just sitting there waiting. And as soon as we park, she walks over.
Yeah. So anyway,
I kind of had a feeling
if they were trying to steal it,
They
You
should have
know?
just committed. You don't steal
Yeah,
things halfway. Come on.
They
now.
felt bad about it.
They
and
felt bad, so yeah, we got it back, which is good.
They probably
because
thought, oh, we got another guys. We can probably give up one of these.
Yeah, we don't need
I'm
three
glad they
pitching
knew which
wedges.
one was which. Well, that was the thing. Is like she was like, Nolan's like, was it a
She asked
whatever?
what it was.
Oh, what brand it was?
She's like, was it a Mizuno? She didn't really
And
know
so
how to
then
say
I was
Mizuno.
like,
And
I was like, oh, I hope. Like Nolan's like, obviously he's gonna know his club, but I was like, hopefully the other guy didn't have a Mizuno also, because otherwise it might have been his they found. But anyway, so yeah.
well, at first that's why I thought maybe it was the left-handed guy, because whenever I was up there, I told him what it was, and he's like, oh, mine, I have Mizunos too, and then he had hit one of his laying on the ground, and I just kind of glanced over there, and he's like, that one's mine.
Yeah. Anyway,
but then I saw later he was left-handed. But.
So yeah, that's what happened on our golf day. So we
Someone-
lost a club, we got it back. It was exciting.
But when we played on Monday, and it was super busy there, and there was some guy came around looking for a club too. So we figured maybe at first we were like, they just got someone in the bushes out here.
Yeah, they snagging these.
They sneak out and grab your club somehow when you're not looking.
I'm like, how do you even miss a person running up on you? But we obviously
turtles.
did. Probably when I was videoing,
Or-
the turtles or the ground squirrels or the baby.
There's a lot of ground
geese.
squirrels on that one area out there.
No,
I'm
I think
out.
the turtles are taking them.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
they're fast.
They are fast. There
Amanda
was-
has a video of one on Monday. It crossed a sand trap in like a few seconds. Like that thing was flying down to the water.
It's so funny because since it was just Nolan golfing, we got paired with 3 other golfers that were a group. And in the video, it's funny because you can hear the guy in the back. He's like, that turtle's hauling ass. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Fastest turtle ever.
Is
Anyway.
it just common in golf for people to scream sit at their ball anytime it's in the air?
Yeah.
Because you sent me a video and it was just 9 chicks yelling sit all at the same time. And I was like, this sit.
Like sit down.
Yeah, like
when
the ball
ball's in
hits
the
the
air.
ground and it doesn't bounce. It just hits and it stays
a lot
right
of
there.
times it's in the air and you can tell it's going too far. And apparently, if you yell at it, I guess you think that's going to slow it down and not make it go as far. And when it hits the ground, just to sit and stop instead of roll.
But anyhow, I watched a couple of golfing videos and then your videos. The whole time in all the videos, people were yelling sit. And then you sent me that video and people were yelling sit. I was like, what is this? Can you train them?
Train
This
the
is-
golf
The
balls.
golf balls.
I was like, I'm going to do that next time I shoot a deer. I'm going to shoot him and he goes, sit, sit.
The other lovely thing is we almost
go
experienced
nowhere.
this yesterday, but for some reason golfers in the 1800s or whenever it started decided that the word for F-O-R-E was like a golf term
Mhm.
for something. And so if you hit a ball and it goes way off, possibly towards some people, as the person that hit it, you yell like 4 left or 4 right or just 4, like it's to get other people's attention.
Yeah, it's like heads up.
Well, yeah, yesterday we're like, and here's the thing, it's like we're on this green putting, and all of a sudden I hear the word for being yelled, and so I turn around, and then I hear a golf ball banging off through the branches in the tree next to us. Like how, when you're 150, 250, whatever yards down range, and you hear someone that just hit the ball yell, how are you supposed to turn and locate that thing in the air before it takes you
I think
out?
it's like when you hear an artillery shell whistling, you're just supposed to dive and hit the ground and hope it
I
doesn't
guess
get you.
just cover your head with your hand so it hits your hand instead of your skull, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I guess I'd rather be.
You should have
get
hit one right back and yelled
The
for
thing
at them.
is usually you're like, if you're facing the other way, it might be better to get hit. You hear a 4 and you turn and then it plunks you in the nose or something. I don't know. It's
The
just
eyeball?
I've been
Rips
I've been
the eye
thinking,
right
like,
out of the socket.
There's no way that, like, sometimes it's hard enough to see the ball even if you've hit it. Usually if you've hit it, you know. Sometimes every now and then I don't.
I don't. I'm just like, I hope it's down there
You
somewhere.
could lose him in the sun.
Yeah, so how are you supposed to see it coming from the other way? Like,
I'm finding that golf sounds much louder than I imagined. It sounds like there's a lot of yelling.
Only when you golf
Well,
with me.
Something I want to be involved in.
It was pretty quiet with Nolan and I,
Yeah,
other than the one guy yelling 4, which
I might have
I don't
yelled
even remember.
I think I yelled. I don't know if I yelled sit, but I think I did yell stop at some, and they didn't do anything.
Well, his yell is like, stop.
Four
Yeah, I'm
four
not.
wouldn't be the only four-letter F word I use when I golf.
Well,
If
I
my
guess-
mini golfing is any indication of my golfing ability, it's not well.
I guess we'll have
They-
to see if you come golfing with
Well,
us.
I did see a thing that said, you know why it's named golf?
Why?
I do not.
Because was already taken.
Good.
I thought you were gonna make a word like a what is anagram or whatever out of the letters.
I thought I was actually going to learn something about the heritage of golf.
No.
I was under the guise of learning.
Never be under the guise of learning with us.
I always
We-
am. Unfortunately.
Well, we rarely teach.
I rarely
Anyway.
listen, so that's a good.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So-
we got sunburnt.
Oh yeah, very sunburned.
I don't
if
get
you can tell.
sunburned.
Ouch.
Very red.
Look at
Apparently,
me.
we were.
Nolan
in the,
got less sunburnt, but I think that's because I was out hitting more balls than he was, because it took me like 3 hits to get to where his one was. Like, I hit the driver, he hits the driver like 500 yards. I like have to hit 3 times before I get to that point. So I was out in the sun more than he was. So I got more crispy. More crispy.
Well, it's
And It
nice.
was on
Nolan,
accident.
Nolan was like, "Man, it is fun driving the golf cart because she just keeps having to get out. Yeah, I haven't done this before.
Oh my goodness.
It's much more fun being behind the wheel than it is being in the passenger seat."
Especially since on Monday when he was the passenger, I kept just starting before he was even in, and he'd have to jump.
run in while it's driving.
So that golf cart did not have the power the one we had yesterday had. It was the one
Yes.
yesterday was speedy. The other one, I'd have it flat out, and the 2 other people that we were golfing with, their golf carts were just like, you could see them getting smaller, and I'm like, go. Anyway.
Quit dragging your foot on the ground. We got to get going.
Yeah. Anyway, Nolan was telling me, we're going to stop talking about golf now. Nolan was telling me about UFOs, lights off of South
Well,
Carolina.
that was North. They
North
were
Carolina?
people were the only thing I heard is and people thought they were kind of like the same lights that people saw around. What was it, over New Jersey
Which I didn't even know
Is it-
about that.
a year or 2 ago?
You didn't follow into the fear mongering.
No, but I did figure out
No.
what the lights over Asheville, North Carolina were, that people didn't know what they were and what was going on.
Oh,
What
what
were
was
they?
going on?
Well, they were without power, so it was nice and black, and so everyone could see the sky. And it was Starlink lights.
I was going to say,
Perfect.
was it Starlink?
It was Starlink.
They had never seen
I
those
guess they had never
before?
seen. I first saw those in 2020.
Yeah. That
I
is
think-
so funny, though.
And yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't
because
know
it
what
is
they
like
were.
strips
We
that
can
go
see 'em
across
every-
the sky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can see them every night. But the reason we really found out about them, wasn't it when that comet was here? And
Mhm.
like the people trying to take pictures of that comet that
in
was
the
here?
summer of 2020.
They were like, the Starlinks keep ruining it because it makes like a line of, with their
Mhm.
long exposure
Yeah.
or whatever it's called.
So it said here that on April 28th, Starlink launched 23 new satellites, and when newly deployed, they often travel in a straight line, looking like a bright train of lights moving steadily across the sky.
That's so funny.
Which
but there
they-
are people that have never seen them before.
Which whenever we saw them in 2020 for the first time, they were pretty close. It definitely was just like a line, and now we
They've
can
kinda
see them
like a
sometimes.
net
But they're like,
around.
choo,
they are
choo,
they are
choo,
farther apart
choo.
now,
choo.
but
But yeah,
that's
Oh.
all it was.
Oh.
Is what well
it's never
that's
been
what-
that dark.
that's what
Well,
the-
that's what they say.
that's what they've said.
So what was the New Jersey thing? What were people saying?
Nobody said it for
Mr.
sure, but it seemed
Conspiracy
like
theorist
it
friend?
was. Listen, I wish the aliens were real and that was all cool, but it was just people flying drones. They said it was all like private drones and stuff like that. And then once word got out that was happening, more people kept flying private drones. I don't know.
But I didn't ever look a lot into it then. But people were claiming like some of them were like SUV sized,
I don't know.
is how they were describing them.
Lights?
Drones. I don't know.
Oh, I was like, a light that is SUV size? I was like,
That's what
that's
I'm
kind of
like.
a weird.
I mean, I'm sure
Huge.
the military has some kind of crazy big drone. I mean, look at the war in
Yeah.
Ukraine. It's mostly drone battles at this point. So I'm sure the military is like, fly a bunch of them over New Jersey and see what happens.
Well, I'm guessing it's just like, when they were trying to. I'm
'Cause then it was also
guessing
the
they have all
election cycle.
kinds of stuff. Because, I mean, they kept the SR-77, the Blackbird, 71. What is it?
71. Yeah.
They kept it secret. So,
Well, yeah,
I mean, I'm guessing they still
They're just now,
have stuff that they're messing with.
they're just now released not that long ago the new like replacement for the Blackbird, and that thing could have been.
Is that thing that was flying at the start of that thing you showed me on? That like looks like the thing from Top Gun.
Well,
That was
it
so
resembles
descriptive.
that, but I haven't actually seen.
He knows what I'm talking about.
I haven't actually seen a.
You guys don't. He knows what I'm saying.
I haven't seen actually a real picture of this jet yet.
Oh, so what was that one that was flying in that Memorial Day thing with the other planes?
Oh yeah, that was.
Is that not the new?
Mm-mm.
Oh
no, that was some of the other. Yeah,
They wouldn't show you all their new stuff. Hey,
No,
also,
and-
in other
well,
words,
if they just released it, I thought maybe they had one.
They do, and they're just now releasing it to the public that they have something. But from what this apparently jet is capable of, there has been reports of some of that people possibly seeing something like this clear back in like 2011. Like the amount of sonic booms, the shape, and everything. Over LA and all sorts of different stuff. So of course they've been going on for a long time.
I have a
I was
question.
gonna say I 100% believe that.
strike a
100%
civilian population. Let's
the
see how much.
military has- Are you talking or am I talking?
Go for it.
Maddie's talking.
I was just gonna say I 100% believe that the military has plenty of stuff that they are not unveiling. That's their prerogative.
For sure.
People are stupid, especially in masses. So
Which
to let as few people know about things is good for them.
Which leads me to my question. Okay, so I'm not sure I believe in aliens. Really. I don't want to give it that much thought. I have way too much on my plate already to worry about an alien. But speaking of people being stupid, if there are aliens, why would they want to come here? I'm a person and I don't really need to examine more people. So wouldn't an alien that's coming here be a little smarter than we are? Why would they come here? Like,
You want
what's
to
the
hear my
point?
theory?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
That's why I asked.
Okay, I think that if aliens are real, they come here because they want to observe conflict. Because I think that in the future, right, in other civilizations, we're getting deep here. The aliens are like above conflict; they're more like diplomacy. And humans
Mhm.
were very violent by nature. I think that they like
Mhm.
watching. They're like war is such like
Oh,
a
okay.
foreign concept to an alien. I don't know that
Okay.
they come here
So
and they're like, oh, look at that, they kill each other still over, and I don't know.
So they come here to like laugh at us?
Yeah, we're like a big zoo. It's called. That is somebody else's
I could
theory. It
see
has
that.
a name.
I
It's
do
just
like
something,
people
something.
watching, so I guess I could see that.
You like?
Watching people.
Oh,
People watching.
You said people watching.
I thought you liked people watching you.
Yeah.
No. I
Maybe
like
a
to
streamer?
sit and watch people do whatever it is people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I could see that. That makes sense. Also, Top Gun and the plane made me think of Tom Cruise and the movie. Did you guys go see it?
Yes. I very much
What-
enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Did you end up watching the first one? Because I thought, wasn't it him?
I've
You
seen the
hadn't seen
first
it.
one.
Matthew, did you watch the first one with the little car?
We watched
What-
it
Final Reckoning.
together.
No.
Yes, I-
Final Reckoning's the one we just watched.
Oh, Dead Reckoning.
Yeah. Did you watch it with the little car? Remember I was telling you about it?
Yes, and
It's
you spun in a
hilarious.
circle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
You
but I
probably
really
didn't. You probably didn't laugh extremely out loud
well, I knew it was coming.
in the theater like I did.
You spoiled it for him.
Well, I didn't watch. I didn't watch it in theater.
I know, but
but-
Nolan's like looking at me like, we're not supposed to have our cell phones out. Will you be quiet? I was way louder than.
But
So,
I really did
anyway.
like the new one. I liked the. Oh, pardon me. It was an action movie. I feel like you could watch that with like the teenager. There wasn't a lot of. I don't know. There wasn't a lot of like
Well, none
over the top violence in it. There wasn't any swearing, and it was. I don't know. I thought it was pretty
Well,
tense.
none of them.
I
None
didn't
of them
think it
have
was
that
as,
really.
I didn't think it was good as last year's or whatever, but
Kick Nolan. Kick him out.
But there was a moment where all of a sudden I heard, and I was like, "You hadn't breathed for a while, had you?" It was.
That
I can't remember
happened
at what
in our
point it was,
theater,
but all of a
too.
sudden he just breathed, and I was like, "Are you all right?" It's pretty funny.
It was very
But yeah.
tense. We talked, I don't know, a bunch of episodes ago about how movies keep upping the ante and how they get crazier and crazier.
Mhm.
Mission
Yeah.
Impossible does that, but it still seems, I don't know, fairly believable.
It
I
seems
mean,
like some of the stuff is potentially possible. There's not
Yeah.
like cars flying in outer space
yes.
or anything like that.
It started
Maybe not
off and it
hanging
was,
onto the outside of an airplane, but
well, but you know that
People
Tom,
wing people wing
he.
walk.
Well, that's why no one can take over, because he had said something like it could
Yeah.
continue if Glenn Powell, which he's on the lame list, but anyway, he's like if he wants to be the what's his name?
the
I don't even
director.
know. No, the actor. If he wants to like take over Tom Cruise's,
Roll.
Oh,
but I can't
know.
think of his. What's Tom? I know he's not going to be Tom Cruise's
He's like the
character, but I
star.
can't even think of his name in the movie. What's his name in the movie?
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
Mhm.
Yeah, if he wants to be like the next Ethan Hunt, which I know he won't be, he'll have his own name. But like he's like, my mom wouldn't let me do that. Those stunts are too dangerous. I'm like, okay,
My mom? Are
apparently-
you not a grown man?
anyway,
Well-
because Tom Cruise does so many of the stunts, and they are very dangerous,
Yeah, there's-
and that's what makes him so cool.
I saw a clip where Matt Damon said he was talking to Tom Cruise, and he was like, "Hey," he was asking Tom Cruise how they did this one stunt in one of the older Mission Impossibles, and I guess Tom Cruise was like, "Yeah, I'd wanted to do this for like 20 years or something, and finally it was I was gonna get a chance to do it." And he's like, "I went to the safety guy, and the safety guy said, no, we can't. That there's no way that we can do that." And he's like, "So I got a new safety guy."
Mm-hmm.
And then like he just kept getting new safety guys until they finally got one that would let him do whatever stunt it was. I think it was the one either running up the side of that building or something that they did.
Oh yeah, the
he's
Burj
like,
Khalifa or whatever.
yeah, and he's just like, and
Dubai.
he said no, and he's like, "So we got a new safety guy."
That's funny.
Just kept firing him until they found one that would
Which
work.
I think that's very cool, because a lot of actors and actresses, they don't really have a lot of talent, let's be
Mhm.
honest. Okay? So when someone is like that, he's kind of creative,
Yeah.
very brave. He's actually pretty good at what he does. I'm like, okay,
Well,
I like this,
You know, when he was walking around on the plane, someone had asked him, he's like, "So did you have a parachute on that you just, obviously was deleted out of the screen?" He said,
Mhm.
"No, it would have been too dangerous to wear a parachute."
I hear you. That's more drag on
Yeah.
your person.
Well, he said, like, if the thing would have accidentally went out, like,
Mm-hmm.
it would have killed him and the plane, like,
Yeah.
it would have yanked the
Oh, that
wing
makes
off, so
sense.
everyone would have crashed and probably died. And so
Yeah.
they just had a little tiny cable that was hooked to him that was hooked somehow to the wings that he moved around on or whatever.
That's just crazy.
I was
So
say
he was
because
up there.
I don't want to say too much about it, but there was a point where he's hanging off of an airplane by like one arm, and it's like that there's like some kind of safety restraint, but at the end of the day, that is him like hanging there with one arm off of an airplane
Yeah.
in
The
flight.
same
I got
thing
that.
is in one of those others when he was like hanging on the side of that jet.
Oh,
or
yeah,
the
and
plane
it's
as it
taken
took
off. Mhm.
Yeah.
I was telling Maddie that it's almost like you go to see the stunts, and like there's like a movie that I don't know, it like envelops the stunts, but like for me, like the stunts are like the really cool part, and the
Yeah.
movie and the story and everything was really tense around it. And
Mm-hmm.
like there was a movie, I think it's called Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. I think it's Cliffhanger. It takes place in the Rocky Mountains. He's like a
that's what it's called.
search and rescue guy.
Oh, okay.
And it all starts that like somebody, they hijack like a treasury airplane in flight, and they try and take all the money off of it. And there's like a 15-second scene where they have like one guy like on like a zip line go from one plane to a next. It's like a $4 million stunt. It's such a small part of the movie, but I always thought that was really impressive. That like I don't know,
Yeah.
that was like half the budget was like 15
Yeah.
seconds of the movie to find a stunt guy to zip line from one plane to another in
Yeah.
flight. It's grainy because they're taking it from the ground as they're going over, but
Mhm.
it was great.
Well, like the that's why sometimes you'd watch like the old Dukes of Hazzard. Just
Mhm.
there's going to be a jump or two in the whole thing, and every single time that car jumps, I think it totaled the car, and so they were just going through Dodge Chargers, but I think they went through a couple hundred for the whole time that show was on
Mhm.
air. But
I always
They
like
were
those
real
because they'd
jumps.
land it, you'd see the frame break in half, and then it would cut, and then a new car would be driving away. It
A
was so
perfectly good
funny.
car. Just,
Yeah, I
the
loved
wheels
it.
are busted out and the front end's
Yeah.
caved in, and they cut like it's just enough to see a split second of that, and then
Yep.
the next scene, next cut
A
right
new
after they
one's
landed. Just,
zooming right off. I loved that. It's so fun because yeah. Anyway, but
Okay, so another like I guess it kind of talking about the UFOs or whatever, it kind of made me think of it. I don't know it. Matthew probably has heard this, but anyway, there are people that think Tom Cruise is actually a woman that transitioned to a man.
I'm already 100% on board.
Which really? Because
No.
okay.
You ever seen a woman run as quick as Tom Cruise in any of those movies?
Well, that and just like
I like how that's a determining factor.
Come on.
his jacket's always blown out back in the wind.
well
These pecs
that
are-
and then like if you see just like any of these stunts that he does, I mean, there are some strong women out there. Okay, I'm not saying that, but
What are you saying?
I'm saying that he's definitely all man. Okay, he's got to be. And then what? At the end when he shakes the FBI guy's hand, is he FBI CIA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know who you're
He
talking.
shakes the guy's hand. His hand is gigantic in that other guy's hand. So unless they both have just like little baby girl hands or something, but I'm like, there's no way
Yeah.
this guy is a lady.
He's got some big
I
old
don't know.
gnarly dick beaters. What I say? What I
That's
say?
not what I thought.
Oh.
Yeah.
What'd
know
I
what you
say?
said.
Well,
Did
we're
I
not
say
gonna-
something wrong?
This
We're
is
not
going to
gonna-
be a conspiracy theory about Tom Cruise and Scientology.
No, it's-
different.
It's
felt
just
like-
that I find myself on a weird side of Instagram sometimes, and he's like there's like this lady out there on Instagram that goes through celebrities and stuff, and she's like, I've done all the training and I know the bone structure and everything, and so she like says which celebrities she thinks have transitioned, which whatever, but again, I don't have in my little brain capacity to even care about that at all or wonder or anything. But Tom Cruise being on that list just totally, ever since I heard it the first time, it just has blown my mind. And then I watched some of his movies and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Some of the other ones I could be like, okay, maybe. I don't know. I don't care. But like Tom
This
Cruise,
is gonna blow your mind.
He's definitely a man. I'm just gonna say it. He's just a man.
Are you aware of the president of France? He's
No, I guess
Philippe
not.
Macron or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you gonna look him up?
So
I was,
Candace
yeah.
Owens did like a 5-hour docu-series about how his wife is actually his dad that transitioned back in the day and groomed him in boarding school and then married him to maintain control over the presidency of France. This is a real thing. Candace Owens put so much time into this. And you listen to it and it sounds convincing, but it's like, this cannot be true. I mean, you have to be BSing me somewhere. This cannot be true.
Isn't there something with Fauci and Mother Teresa or something too?
Yes.
I don't know. Okay?
It's like if you have to choose what
Honestly-
to believe. If you let this invade your brain, you'll go crazy, people.
And also, I mean, like that doesn't really have any difference in my life if that is the case.
It's the
I
president
mean,
of France.
that's pretty sad for him if that's really what happened, that his dad did that to him and now is his wife. That's sad for him, but also not really my problem.
What does it
At
matter?
this point.
What does it matter? Yeah, does this affect me going to work tomorrow? No.
No.
Okay. I guess.
I got enough to deal
Unless
with.
I
I don't.
decide to become French.
Yeah, I guess. But even then, is it gonna matter what the president of France if you live there? I don't know.
I'm sure
these
nobody
people-
in France gives a Frenchman's about Macron's wife.
But also, so like just thinking about that, because that's the other thing. So like, of course, on my Instagram, there's like Christian influencers that I follow,
Mhm.
and they sometimes freak out about, you know, like some of the music. Like what was it a couple years ago? Little Nas X, where people like got trampled at his concert or something, and
That was
some of
Kendrick
his-
Lamar.
Oh,
No, I think that was Travis Scott.
It was Travis Scott. I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
was that
it was-
one of his big
okay.
tours with
But
Drake.
well,
Lil
it was
Nas, he
Little
did the
Nas
satanic
X.
stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, and I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, if you wouldn't have mentioned him, I don't even know who the F Little Nas X is. So, like, if you don't want people to know about it, stop drawing attention to it. Like, because now it's
Mhm.
taking up way more space in my brain than before, because I didn't even know this was a person. Just like these people that are like, we got to talk about who is like Candace talking about the president of France. Like, what? You really don't have something better to do with your time?
No.
Honestly, come to my
Apparently
house
not.
and I will give you something to do, because I have
Mhm.
more than enough to do with my time that I'm not worried about who's
Well, no,
doing what to.
that's her job.
Well,
she's got
that's not
some-
what her job used to be.
No, but now
she's
it is.
become
It's-
like a celeb. She's like
You can
very
only-
enthralled in the Blake Lively
Yeah.
and Ryan
She's
Reynolds
made that-
thing, and it's just like,
that's what she's getting paid to do by.
Mhm.
well, I know, but I'm
Daily
just saying,
Mail
like
and-
any of these people, they're like, focus on whatever. But okay, but back to like the musicians, where people are like, they're so much worse. The last 2 summers ago, we were on a vacation and we were watching on the screen. There was, don't look at me like that. Just listen to the end of my story and you'll know where I'm going.
I know
Anyway.
what you're saying.
Oh, well, why'd you look at me like that? Keep your eyes
You don't
full.
remember where we were?
No, I know where we were.
Okay.
I was just trying not to say
Okay.
exactly where we were. Anyway, on the
Bunny Ranch?
screen, it was playing like old music, but it was like
1970s
music
and 80s
videos.
Music videos, yeah.
Some of the music videos that popped across the screen were way more terrifying, actually physically terrifying to someone that doesn't watch horror movies, than anything Little Nas X or Travis Scott or Beyonce or Taylor Swift or any of the people that they're like, they're satanic. I'm like, music has not gotten worse, okay? So you people are just dramatic is the thing. Just like the
Mhm.
people that are worried about if, Tom Cruise is really a woman or not. Like, you guys, oh gosh, I don't know. The internet is fun, but it's also ridiculous.
It's not a place to be if you are easily swayed and susceptible
everybody
to
is.
BS.
It's ridiculous how crazy everyone is so easily swayed these days.
I'm with you.
Like-
You convinced me Tom Cruise is a chick, and you didn't even have to provide evidence. I'm into
Didn't
it.
have to work that hard.
100%.
Well, it's something with his clavicles. He's got lady-shaped clavicles, and
And I got a
Bro, who
26-inch
cares?
waist. Where are we going with this?
what
Your
was the
waist
other
is
thing that they
29.
say? Something with his forehead is like lady-shaped.
I got a big
I'm
forehead, too. What do they want with me?
Are you saying he just said I
We're
have a
literally
big forehead?
attributing clavicles and foreheads to women or men. Like, Jesus.
Didn't
Christ.
God make us
Well,
all
let
just
Let people do
different,
whatever they
bud?
want.
I'm just bummed that he
Well-
has a P-51 Mustang and I don't. That's all
Yeah,
I care about.
That's what. No
I
one's
wish I
talking
would have got
about.
his paycheck for doing the Top
And-
I
Gun
just
movie.
touched
Hey,
my clavicle and
I
realized
did-
it's very sore. And
I
I'm
did
not sure
just.
why. Might be broken.
I felt like Tom Cruise the other day.
You
What
did?
happened?
Well, we were trying to leave, and the goats
Oh, that's
and
true.
Remy tried to follow us, and usually they just kind of stay, or they have been.
Oh, they're supposed to just.
And so I parked out on the road a little ways, and I came back, and I threw Remy some food, and the goats, I wasn't sure if they were going to stay, and so I sprinted from there out on the road, and I was like straight up, arms going, just flat out, and I got in the pickup and said, I think I was just Tom Cruise right there running. All I was missing was an open jacket blowing in the wind.
You leading the way, nipples first. That's how Tom Cruise runs.
Just going, and that's what I was doing. I was just on it.
You felt
I
like
liked
Tom
it.
Cruise.
Haven't sprinted like that in years.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I like the movie too.
Next up for me is going to be 28 years later.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's a zombie movie.
Oh,
When does that come out? I want to
June something.
Oh,
I think-
okay. I'll be
I
here.
think our next movie is Happy Gilmore too, but it's not in
It's
theaters.
just on
When does that come
Netflix.
July 23rd.
Oh.
On my birthday?
That's what you told me.
Perfect.
I thought you said that, and I was like, "Oh, it's your birthday." So
All
I
we need
remember.
is Nolan's mother's
But it's-
maiden name. Actually, we already have that. You're,
Yeah.
you're screwed, Nolan. Somebody's going to steal your identity. They got your name, your mother's maiden name, your birthday. You're cooked.
25th.
25th. Oh, okay.
Never
so
mind.
I was 2 days off.
That's his
But,
birthday.
That's my birthday. It's still
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
my
that's
birthday.
his birthday.
We don't know the year.
But it
It's
doesn't.
impossible to identify how old
Nolan could have
is
been
because
born
we keep
anywhere
changing
between
it.
1923 and 1965. We have no idea when he was born.
That's still so old.
He's actually turning 60 this year.
We actually just this morning we were watching 22 Jump Street.
Oh yeah.
And the one, like, you know, they're supposed to be in college, but they're older. And the one lady in there was telling, she's like, what did she say? Something about how was the war? Any of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me how the war was. Any of them?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What a dumb movie that is.
I thought it was pretty. I really only wanted to watch it because I just recently saw the clip of Ice Cube and whenever he found out that his
Schmidt is dating
Yeah.
his daughter.
Oh yeah, because they had the conversation about he's taking her out on a date and he gets there and it's her.
well,
Yeah, he's stewing the
he's-
whole time. How can you
Yeah.
eat?
because he's like,
What do I gotta do to get a water?
he's like, yeah, what's
Someone bring this man water. He's black. He's been through a lot.
well, that's what Ice Cube. He's like, what does it take for a black man to get a water around here? And then Jonah Hill or Schmidt in the thing, he's like, someone get this man a water. He's black. He's been through a lot.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, Nolan showed, I don't know if that was AI or if that was real, but Jonah Hill apparently has lost all of his weight.
He has lost a
He
lot
looks
of weight.
great. And all of his
I didn't
interviews
even
are people
recognize
just
him. I was like,
asking why he's not
whoa.
fat anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe because
And
he wanted
people-
to be
he
healthy.
can't get hired for stuff because he's not fat anymore.
Yeah,
like for
that's-
some roles.
Oh.
He's known for that, and that's what they want him for. Oh, here comes our goats waddling back.
They're
No.
very plump. Their little tails waggle.
I know that they say that they hate it, but Superbad was a defining moment for me as a man.
God, I love Superbad.
Superbad.
I don't think Amanda likes Superbad.
And I don't like. The only
Yes.
thing I don't like about Superbad is I can't recommend it to anybody because it's one of the most vulgar movies ever made.
It's not even that
They
bad.
average like
Is it
4 F words a minute, and that
Okay, but
It's like a 90-minute movie.
Other than that, really?
that's just because you've lived with me for so long. Everything is PG after a day with me.
It's like I don't remember.
My
It
boss
being
used
that
the F
bad.
word on the phone the other day, and I was like, I think I've worked for you for too long. I think I've
You polluted him?
I think I've polluted you. You used to not say anything
Well-
bad. No.
We watched a movie with my cousins, and I was like, oh yeah, this movie will be great. And like 5 minutes in, I was like, I did not know that they cussed this much in this movie. I think it was The Heat.
Yeah, the heat.
I was like, yeah, what's her name? She just goes off.
Melissa.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Heat.
I was
I was
like,
like,
I did not
not
remember.
Heat with Val Kilmer. I go, that's a
No.
good
No.
choice.
We mix those two up all the time.
I like Heat with Val Kilmer. You showed your cousins
The Heat's
that.
got Sandra Bullock and Melissa.
Yeah,
Something.
and they're cops. I really like
Yeah.
my favorite scene is when the one guy wipes his ass with the warrant. She's like, how come there's that much on your ass? You can just wipe your ass at any time and it's that dirty.
See, I don't remember.
I
You
don't
remember
either.
that?
I don't think that's in the heat.
What?
That's
The-
not
the-
in the heat.
The albino guy.
Yeah, the albino cop.
Wait, there's
The-
multiple the Heats. So maybe you're talking
No,
about the second
he
one's
he does
the Heat?
have he's like the dirty cop, right?
But he
Yeah,
doesn't
there's an
wipe his
albino
butt
guy.
with it.
And he has like a warrant or something. He wipes his ass.
I don't
It's-
remember that.
it's
That's
covered.
not what-
It's covered in And she goes, what's wrong with you? You have that much on your ass at any given time.
This has really gone off
Did I
the
make
rails.
this
And
up? Am I
maybe
crazy?
Maybe that's
You
a
quoted
deleted
that.
scene. Maybe that's a deleted scene. Is there a number 2? The Heat 2?
I don't
Well, no,
think
that guy
so.
dies in number 1.
I quote that I've been quoting that
That
for
is-
10
Says that
years.
all the time.
That is not in the movie. If that's in the movie, I've blocked it out. Okay, I've seen the movie like 6 times, and it's not in
Probably
there.
an okay thing to block out.
See, it's in front of my memory. If it doesn't exist, I wonder where this came from.
Well, on the note of Matthew,
Maybe it was the
living with
rundown.
Matthew's so vulgar.
It's got to be in
Matthew
a
says,
different.
Matthew says the ball crushing factory all the time to mean work.
What?
Like you're going to the ball crushing factory.
Another
And I
10-hour
almost said
shift.
that on rotation the other day.
This has went from a clean episode to a
I'm
not
s-
clean
It's
episode.
really gone off the rails. I don't know what's happened.
Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have said that.
Listen,
Maybe-
you guys blew me off for 2 weekends in a row, so now I'm going to come unleashed on this episode. You'll be lucky if you get out of here sometime before dinner. I'm just going to torture you. We're going to have
I
2
can just
hours.
3 more
I can just-
hours?
I can just push stop on my end.
I'm
the
gonna
one in
torture you.
control.
I'm going to log into the Riverside with my login info. I'm going to release 6 episodes that are E for explicit. It's just going to be me, Slackjawed, playing games.
What's that bird?
That's an American
There is
Robin.
This is a funny quote, but I'm not going to say it.
That's okay. I'm thinking of another funny quote that I shouldn't say.
Okay. I think we got
We're
to
just
stop.
off the rails today.
No, you said Matthew that we're gonna do that.
Oh yeah,
that
there's a
game.
game that Amanda and Matthew are going to do. Well,
Okay,
other
run me
people
through
can
it.
do
We'll
too,
finish the episode off with this.
Okay, well, I don't know exactly what it's called, but I see people doing it, and I think you and I can get to the same word fairly quick. Okay, so like on the count of 3, we both say a word. Okay, and then we have to like if we don't say it the first time.
Like you just go from nothing to some random.
I see. So we
word.
Yeah.
say a word, and then we
And
use
then we
that
have to
word to
try
work
to-
towards a common word.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like, yeah. So but I think you and I can get it in a couple times. Nolan does not have the faith in us that I think that we
Can I be
It's
honest?
gonna be a
I'm,
disaster.
I'm with Nolan because I got a pretty demented mind. We spend enough time apart. I
Well,
don't know if we can do this
the,
or not.
the thing is that you
Have
kind of have
faith.
to you kind of have to think like me and I kind of have to think like you. Like you can't just keep your thoughts like off in the universe and then me trying to think a little bit like you and
I'm thinking like
Matthew,
you,
you
and
have
man,
to
Nolan's
employ
looking cuter. I'm
empathy.
gonna have to close my eyes for this part.
Okay, I have to think of a word first.
No,
Let
you
me-
don't think of a word. You have to think of a word based on the word I say.
No, we say it
What?
at the same time on the number at 3. We're going to count to 3 and we both say a word.
Okay, I got my word picked out.
Okay.
But then
Do
you
you have
change
your word
your
picked out?
word because you're
I'll
trying to
count
get
to
the
three.
same thing.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
count to 3. Do you have yours?
I feel a lot of pressure now actually, so I need a second.
Life or death.
Like you don't start out thinking of what they might say, right? You just say
no,
a word
No.
you
and
just
then
say you just say a word. Okay, I have a word. So
Okay.
are you going to count?
I'm gonna count.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Movie.
Teenager.
Okay.
You said
Okay.
booby?
I said
Movie.
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 I said movie.
Movie.
Moose.
Movie.
I was
Okay,
like, so we got
so-
teenager and boobies. Oh, great.
This episode, we're gonna be arrested.
Okay.
Movie.
So now we
and
gotta
teenager.
try to. Okay, and I have exactly what I'm gonna say next, and I hope that you can think. Okay, so use your brain with teenager and movie, and we can get to the same word. Okay, Nolan, count.
Are you ready?
um.
I don't know if he's ready.
Yes,
Just
I'm
put him
ready.
on-
I'm
put him
ready.
on the spot.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Super
Victorious. Oh.
Okay, but now we have to use those two. Okay.
What'd you say, victorious?
I said super
Super
bad.
bad. He said victorious.
Okay. Yeah, but now
That
we have
wasn't
to
a
use
movie.
those. We have to use those 2 words now.
Okay.
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 I'm thinking like you. Okay, do it again.
3, 2, 1, go.
Victoria
Ariana
Justice.
Grande.
Oh.
What? You said thinking like me. She was always my favorite.
What'd you say?
Ariana Grande.
Victoria Justice.
She was
Okay,
my favorite.
Okay.
You're
What
close.
is
Okay.
This is
Victoria
close.
Justice?
She's
That's a name?
She's the
Okay.
lead.
Okay.
In Victorious.
Matthew. Matthew.
Okay.
We can
3,
freaking get it this time.
3, 2, 1, go.
Wicked.
Get.
I don't think he said it. He just
said
said
what?
id. After
What
I
did you
said
say?
wicked. I
They
said
both-
wicked.
What?
I said
They
wicked
put-
too.
I-
Nice.
Oh, okay.
That was 4 times.
Okay.
We got it.
Try
Okay.
it again.
Okay, Matthew, are we gonna do it again, or should we make Nolan and Maddie?
Yeah,
do
that's
it?
not
Make
gonna
Nolan
That's
and Maddie.
terrible.
make-
I'm terrible at this.
Okay.
Okay. I will
Okay,
say I was
Matthew.
boneheaded not to do Victoria justice. I was kind of an idiot play. And I didn't think about that.
Okay, we're gonna do it again, and I have to think of a word though. Let me. I think we can do it in 3. I think we can do it in less than 4. Okay, I have to think of a word though.
Is that the cat?
Yeah, someone.
Oh, okay. I've got my word. It can be any word.
I'm here.
You have a word?
Okay, I think I have a word.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Plumbing.
Deer.
Oh,
Deer and plumbing.
yeah. Okay. I know exactly what
Just-
comes to my mind when I think of deer and plumbing.
Just go for it. Go for it, Nolan.
3, 2, 1, go.
Jay.
Jay.
Dad.
All right, you got it in 2. Okay, now say the same word to start.
Well, I said Jay, she said Dad, so we're just gonna go in circles with that for a while.
I said Jay first. I said
Yeah.
Jay, and then I said Dad to correct it, but it was Jay first. He's just gonna be mad at me. So I
He's gonna
told him
be
the
real
other
upset.
day. I said I don't ever call you Jay, and I just did. So
Don't worry.
but I was thinking like Matthew, and he calls him Jay.
Yeah. Well, in 8 months, when Dad listens to this, he can be upset. We called him Jay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well that was fun. See,
This has been another derailed episode of the Lone Jack
Yeah.
Totally Off Track podcast. Sorry if your kids learn a new word or watch a bad movie when they watch this.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.